Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company Danny Weems Show, presented by Starne's Barber Shop, where we cover everything on the diamond with the North Green Lady Husky softball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Danny Weems. Coach, how are we doing this week?
Doing good, Tyler. Good to see you again. It's sunny outside
I was about to say, I didn't bring the weather with me today, so it's sunny for once. It feels good. It's supposed to be, I think, a high of 82 today, and it'll be a good day to practice out there.
Of course, we don't have a game scheduled.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's the way it goes.
That's the way it's been this spring, it seems.
You put these schedules together months in advance. It'd be nice to have a crystal ball and pick out the days that we should be playing on, but can't do that.
Hey, then you wouldn't have any rainouts or makeups or anything.
Take all the fun out of it, right?
Yeah. But you did get one in last week against West Green on Friday. It was one of those weird weeks where we sat down on Tuesday last week and we previewed your week. Didn't know how many we'd get in. You did end up getting one in against West Green. From what you told me, it was a little muddy. It rained about an hour before the game started, but ended up getting a 10-0 victory over the Lady Buffaloes. Take me through that day and how much of a headache it was to get the field ready and stuff, and wondering if you were going to play.
Yeah, well, we wanted to play because it was senior night, so we did everything that we could to get the field ready to begin with and spent a lot of time on it, put a lot of work into it, and we did get it pretty good shape. Come about an hour before game time, though, skies opened up, and it was one of those days where probably should not have played, but we really wanted to because it was senior night and wanted to honor those girls, and the fact that it's really difficult to make up games this late in the season that are non-conference. So I talked to Coach Hahn actually while it was raining there. Walked over to his dugout and talked to him. I said, "What do you think, Coach?" I thought we'd probably just go ahead and bang the game at that point. He's like, "Well, I don't know." He kind of gave me a little bit of hope that he was wanting to play, and I was wanting to get it in again because of the senior night stuff, and so we decided to go ahead and try to work on it, see what we could do, and I had some people there helping me at that point, coming out of the crowd a little bit and helping me try to get the field ready, and I had a couple of players out there working on it too, so we kind of all hands on deck and was able to pull it off. Like I said, probably shouldn't have, but we did. Nobody got hurt, thankfully, so very thankful of that, and turned out we got the game in. We actually played really well. One of those days where things kind of went in our favor. Hannah Brooks pitched the game for us, had 9 strikeouts, that was huge on that day, especially because the infield, it was soppy on the infield. Any ball hit on the infield was a very difficult play to make, even if there was nothing routine, absolutely nothing routine. So I think we had those 9 outs, and then I know we had caught probably 4 or 5 fly balls, so we may have had to make one play on the infield on the bad, really horrible conditions. Other than that, we got lucky as far as that goes, being able to get the outs, and then we hit the ball pretty good, and some of the balls we hit were on the ground, so unlucky for West Green there. The conditions there affected them more just because of the type of hits that we had compared to what they did. And then we actually hit the ball pretty good too, in between some of those grounders on the infield that were essentially unplayable. The conditions were so bad. So we kind of got lucky on Monday, and turned out the way it did.
To add to the 9 strikeouts, I think Hannah didn't allow much.
No, she gave up 1 hit, I believe.
I believe it was one hit.
I'm going to throw Avery Weems under the bus. I stepped out of the dugout and told him to take over calling pitches, and the first girl he called pitches to got a hit. So no, it wasn't Avery's fault. The girl had a good hit, had a double, I think, in the gap. So anyway, we had a good day that Friday night, and our girls had a lot of fun. I think their girls did too. It's a memorable experience for both teams, I'm sure, just playing in those conditions, because usually you don't get to do that, and it was crazy muddy. But anyway.
It's one thing you'll always remember about that game. It seems like you always remember the weather games more than you do just the normal sunny days.
Well, there was some good pictures taken that game. Appreciate the people who came out and, took some pictures and, made some of those available to our teams. I'm sure they'll cherish those for years, truthfully. Those girls will remember that senior night. Those 2 girls had a special senior night just because of the way it turned out.
You were able to get the game in, though, and you were able to play a JV game on Saturday morning that we previewed last week against Providence Academy. Take me through that. I guess, like you said, JV, it's without the 2 seniors, so it's a freshman through junior class that you had playing against them. How did that go on Saturday?
It went good, doggone it. It was tough to get the field ready again, though. It come 10:30, 11 p.m. that same night, Friday night. It come a downpour here on the north side of Greene County. So we came over about 8 o'clock Saturday morning, scheduled to start at 11, and the field had puddles everywhere. We had to get the sump pump out and drain some of it off, and had a situation with the umpire. You know, I tried to push the game back to noon, give ourselves a little bit of extra time to get the field ready, and called my umpire up. This was about 9 o'clock. First called the opposing coach up at Providence. She said, yeah, that's fine, we can do that. Called the umpire, one guy was good with it. Called the other umpire, and he's like, I'm 5 minutes from North Greene. This was 9 a.m. and it was an 11 o'clock game. So I said, if you can help us out, I'd really, really appreciate it. So he did buy into it. But he walked down to the field and he said, Coach, I don't know what you're doing. He said, well, I don't see how we can play. But we ended up working on it, and the weather was beautiful Saturday. From noon on. You know, it was a gorgeous day to play, so we just worked on the field and got it ready, and got that JV game in. Go ahead and talk a little about it maybe. Cadence Marshall pitched really good. She hadn't pitched any in high school. I think she pitched 3 innings for us there, had 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, so kudos to Cadence there. Lauren Blevins came in and pitched some for us, and had 3 different girls that took over the hind catcher duties. Let's see, Maddie Phillips started the game for us catching, and Lauren Blevins caught some that game, and Cadence also went back there and did a little catching for us. So we got to move people around, and as you know, I think on the varsity level, Haley Bailey's really the one we're going with at catcher and kind of counting on. So if anything, we may have developed a little bit of depth there at the catcher position. And we see that may have a couple of girls come in and give us an inning or 2 if we ever need that at the varsity level. So that's kind of good to see. Also had some girls, you know, playing bigger roles than what they get to play in the varsity game. So playing some, maybe some infield where they normally play outfield, that kind of thing. But overall, it was a good day. I think we got an 8-2 win there against Providence JV. So score doesn't really matter in JV. It's all about development, but
experience.
Yeah, development and experience. But we played pretty good that day too, and had a good day out there Saturday.
And then Sunday, yesterday, I mean, you couldn't find a cloud in the sky at some point during the day.
Well, it turns out, which I'm glad it was pretty on Sunday. Got to enjoy that day as well.
Hopefully it's that way this week, knock on wood.
Oh, too. The forecast looks good all week, I think.
It does. So I think I saw a few showers throughout the week, but not many.
Knock on wood. Hopefully we can get most of our games in from here on out. I guess maybe after the break I'll tell you about what's coming up in the future. We did get UNACA rescheduled. So.
Okay, sounds good. But we've got Chucky Doak and the Tiny Day tournament to talk about on the latter half, but we'll go ahead and cut to a break and get some messages on screen before we do that. So we'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors here on Grassroots Media.
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts, the Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
My name is Robert Starne. I'm a lifelong resident of Northern Greene County, where I currently reside here with my wife and 3 children. I was in Barber in Greenville for the last 6 years, but I have recently changed locations to my new shop in Baileyton. It's at 285 Mortis Hollow Lane, Afton. I'm also a proud supporter of North Greene Athletics. Come see me for all of your men and boys grooming needs. Go Huskies!
Baileyton Drug Company services the surrounding communities of Baileyton with excellent patient care using a full-line pharmacy, over-the-counter selections, and a convenient drive-thru. When you visit us, you are treated as a neighbor, not a number. It's not just our slogan, but our culture. We're investing in our patients, local schools, and community. For over 5 years now, we have established ourselves as an independently family-run pharmacy that isn't driven by corporate goals. We are driven by what is best for your overall health and wellness. We're conveniently located so you don't have to make the drive. Prescription drugs are just the tip of the iceberg. We also offer natural remedies, essential oils, at-home medical needs such as walkers, rollators, bath accessories, as well as wound care products. And coming soon, basic urgent care services. What makes us better than other drugstores out there? When you frequent Baileyton Drug, you will receive professional, courteous, and friendly service that goes above and beyond any other pharmacy in the area. Remember, you're a neighbor, not a number.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company Danny Weems Show, presented by Starne's Barbershop, where we cover everything on the diamond with the North Green Lady Husky softball team. As always, I'm joined here with North Green head coach Danny Weems. So another kind of light week going throughout Monday through Friday. You only have one game against Chucky Doak on the road on Tuesday, so short little drive over to Lower Afton. Over the weekend, you have the Tiny Day Tournament, something that you've competed in for many years now. Go ahead and take us through your week, preview that game against Chucky Doak, let us know who you're playing in Tiny Day and what you expect in this year's edition.
Okay. We go over to Chucky Doak tomorrow to play another cross-county game, kind of an in-county rivalry, I guess. So hopefully we can go over there and play well and, have a good game. We played pretty well when we played them here. It was a nip-and-tuck game, really close. But we were able to pull out a couple runs, I think, late in the game there that secured the win. But hopefully we can go over there and have a good game and play clean. That's kind of what we're trying to do, trying to clean up some things. And I have to give our girls credit. I think our girls are progressing and running the bases better, doing a lot of things that we're asking them to do, just understanding softball better and how they need to be playing it. So I think we're making good strides. Just kind of want to see that progress continue over there tomorrow. And then in the Tiny Day Tournament, our prom is Friday night here, North Green. Not here, but our prom for North Green is Friday night. And so we're taking Friday night off, of course. We'll practice, of course, today, Wednesday, Thursday, and then take Friday night off. Then Saturday we go into Greenville and play in the Tiny Day Tournament. I think we have an 11 a.m. game on Saturday and maybe something like a 2 p.m. game. But we play first Jefferson County. That's our first matchup there on Saturday. And then later in the day we play Union County. So I'm in the blind on both of those teams. I don't know much about either one of them. I'm sure they're bigger schools. They both have county in the school name, so they're big schools. So, I'm sure it'll be a big challenge for us to go up against that level of competition. But that's good for us, especially as we get into closer to postseason play, that we play some teams of that caliber. Typically when those teams play single A teams, they may not throw their best pitchers. So you never know what you're going to run into when you play those teams. But I expect them to have several good athletes, in the lineup. So we'll once we get there, we'll see what happens and give it our best. And then on Sunday we'll have bracket play, depending on how well we do on Saturday, and we'll get thrown into a bracket hopefully that we can be competitive with, and hopefully have a good little run there in bracket play on Sunday. But local tournament there, Tiny Day, good tournament for people to come out and watch. Hopefully the weather's good, so if people see this video and maybe check the Tiny Day schedule, get out there and watch a game. Sunday's a fun afternoon usually. Hopefully the weather's good and you can go to any field in Greenville and go watch a good softball game. So get out and do that.
Jefferson County, I haven't really looked at the schedules for each team in the county, but I feel like Jefferson County is going to have a pretty good slate of Greene County teams. I think I know 2 for sure that they play, and they might play 3 total. So yeah. Jefferson County is going to run the Greene County gauntlet, it seems, through the Tiny Day Tournament.
Yeah, well, Jefferson County, historically has been a really good softball team. So, like I said, I haven't kept up with them this year and just found out recently who we play, so I haven't done much digging yet on trying to find out the information. So, we may know more about the game time, or maybe we don't. I don't know, but we'll go and show up and try our best.
Some teams that you do know a lot about that you'll see later on down the road that have had to been rescheduled is Unique and Cloudland. I know those 2 games we've already previewed, but with the weather, of course, how it's been this spring, we weren't able to play them. But you have found dates for them so far, so let us know what those are at the moment.
On the Unaka, the home game against Unaka, we're planning to do Wednesday, May the 1st, here at home, planning a 4:30 start. It's Wednesday night. We like to try to start those as early as possible. So we're planning a 4:30 start on Wednesday, May the 1st, and then the very next day, Thursday, May the 2nd, we'll be traveling up to Cloudland to play the Highlanders. So, you know, both of those games right at the very end of our season, regular season. District tournament will start the following week. So I'm sure that those games will play into the conference seeding. Hopefully, you know, we're playing for a first place there. I don't know. You know, it's still way too early there. We've got a couple of weeks to get through here and see what happens, but potentially we could be playing for our first or second place seed there, which there's not really much difference in a second place seed and a third place seed because there's only 4 teams. But
just depends on what uniforms you're going to wear.
Yeah, if you get first place, you know your matchup is against that fourth place team, your first tournament game. So that's kind of a big advantage. So we'll let it fall where it does, but we'll give it our best.
It's going to come down to the very end of the season this year with just how things have been with the weather and everything.
Yeah, it is. Add some excitement, I guess, here at the end.
Yep. It's always good to have some excitement.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like that much excitement as a coach because it kind of stresses you out a little bit, but from an outside perspective, it's fun to see that excitement come down to the very end of the season.
I think fans get more excited than I do.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. They show more excitement than I do. Sometimes I may hide it better than they do. I don't know.
But I think that's all we've got this week. Another short week. Not many games to cover, not many games to preview, but hopefully you get a lot of games in this week with Chucky Dope tomorrow and the Tiny Day Tournament this weekend. Of course, if you've got an opportunity to go on Saturday or Sunday, please check out the Tiny Day Tournament. It's always fun to just go down to Greenville and you can watch any game you want.
Yeah, good softball.
Absolutely. Thank you once again.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate you once again. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company Danny Weems Show, presented by Starne's Barbershop. Look forward to seeing y'all next time here on Grassroots Media.
Thank you.